Codependency. It's an unhealthy, emotionally and behavioral way of being in relationships that creates a destructive interaction. It usually affects all of one's relationships in some way, shape, or form. Most of us had or have many attributes of codependence. Like most everything in life, there are upsides and downsides to all things. The upside of being dependent is faith. I have faith that this chair will support my weight. I have faith in the ability of the mechanic to figure out how to fix my car. I have faith that God means good even when I see destruction and death. The downside of dependency or codependency is when we depend on another to conform to our expectations or demands. Or we took the time to offer our advice and they refused it. Or they refuse to change their behavior or words or attitudes, even when we tell them it is hurting us. We turn good intentions into controlling others, or manipulating them to conform, or threatening them with repercussions or retaliation. Why? Why are we so dependent and needy? We can't stand to feel bad or powerless. We actually believe if they do change, we will get the love, approval, or appreciation that we crave. We'll actually get to feel good if they change. We thought our happiness, our feeling good, came from others. So we became codependent on them. Our unconsciousness is ignorance. It doesn't know. Hence, it's unaware. That's why they call it unconscious. Our subconscious has some awareness, but it still operates out of habits. Our consciousness is aware. It's like the light goes on. We begin to see the error. By the way, a sin is an error, or it's called missing the mark. All errors can be corrected once we see them. Until we see them, we will continue to be dependent on others, hence codependency. When we say, I don't know, if we are not just making an excuse for ourselves, we actually did not see it. We were unconscious. We usually know if we are making excuses, or we didn't really see it. We can actually tell that. We can actually see it. And the more conscious we are, the more source or empowerment or peace we experience. It's the same for everyone. There are no favorites in the universe, and one doesn't have to earn awareness. When we understand something, we stop punishing, we stop attacking. We put down our rocks and we stop stoning each other. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth does nothing to create compassion or improvement. It only leaves us blind and toothless. That doesn't mean a person is off the hook for their behavior or their attitudes. Everyone is responsible for their own words, behaviors, and attitudes. Correcting them is a lot easier when we don't get kicked when we are down. Besides, if you kick someone when they are down, that action is now ours to correct. It's no longer justified. The upside of codependency is depending on source for this awareness. It can be quite difficult to do this because if source or God is all-powerful, why would the all-powerful allow such trauma and unloving hatred to exist here? This was my question throughout my whole life. How can I really trust this? The answer is you can't. This courage and honesty removes the source from outside oneself and refuses it. Why? Because it can't be trusted. At this point, the source of life begins to illuminate the inside. The light begins to shine from inside to out instead of outside to in. One begins to become this light instead of depending on it. One finally is aware that the light they were seeking has been inside them the whole time. Our codependent relationships are no longer needed. As a matter of fact, all those codependent relationships forced one to go inside, where the true light lives. Every relationship is designed to push you into source, where your light shines brighter. And we call this alignment.